Hey everyone, welcome back to 22 Panels. This is the podcast that aims to examine, explore, and elevate the medium of comics. I am the beard of comics, Tyler, and across the interwebs from me are Tad and Phil. Did you hear the thwips
We
there?
Oh
did.
yeah,
Those were
those
good thwips.
maximum
Okay,
thwip
okay,
Good
volume.
okay.
thwips.
Great. Yes.
Those
Thwips are
like
coming.
came out of the screen and into my face.
It's two problems. One, these are new earbuds, and two, my beard is bigger than ever. And
Enough
And
yeah,
to
and
to
and
take that as
and
your nickname.
and three, Zoom
yeah,
has pretty
yep. It's
pretty
not just a
good
clever nickname.
pretty good noise canceling.
Yeah.
Um so yeah.
How's it
Uh
going?
it's going. It's been a busy week, man.
Hmm.
I told you guys a little bit off the air, but I'm going to tell it again on the air because it's all comics related since Wednesday.
Sure.
Friend of the podcast will be returning guests soon to talk about this. Jim Terry spent the last week making a movie, or not the last week, last year making a movie that
Hmm.
screened in a theater in Chicago on Wednesday night, and I went down. Um, it's called Shank.
Hmm.
And the way I've been describing it to like everybody because like it's amazing and I want it to get wider distribution and or digital DVD. It feels like it should be a VHS, honestly. Um, which people who've listened to the last few interviews have heard me say a few times, but oh well, I don't have a lot of material. Um but for you guys, it's like imagine Jim Jarmusch and Kevin Smith got together and made an action movie, but spent no money at all with really good design and soundtrack.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. I can't wait
Um,
to see it.
Total labor of love. Again, I hope that a lot more people get to see it. I will continue
Only
championing it every opportunity I get. Um,
let us know as soon as it's
etc.
playing anywhere other, than a theater in Chicago.
Well, again, it was just one time.
Right.
Yeah, and just
It's
the
not
the
even
one showing.
playing.
Ah,
It
It played.
played.
it's like you schedule some kind of a release event. It's just your house.
A little bit. Um, I mean, no budget, dude.
Hmm.
Well,
But
yeah.
yeah, so I had that, and then Tyler knows how this happens. Sometimes I'll go from having a bunch of balls in the air where I've like given dates for like the next month or so, whatnot, and then they all say yes for the same week, same day, same time, and sometimes that time is like the next available time. So, um, on Monday, the last thing I was doing for the week was the Jim Terry movie. And then I wound up talking to David Walker, Joe Illidge, and Stephen Frank all on between Thursday and Friday.
Yeah. I think I saw a few more emails come in than that.
Yeah.
So,
So
so it was like
but
a
other
scheduling
stuff got
bonanza.
booked, but
Yeah.
no, 6 hours of interviews
Wow.
between 2 days.
Why do you do this to yourself?
It just
Um,
happened.
it,
It
it
just
just
happened.
it fell into place and like there were good reasons to get them all done in a timely manner.
I suppose, yeah.
Because one of them has an active Kickstarter, one of them has a Kickstarter about to launch, and the other one is in our FOC today. Um,
What?
so a couple of them I'd been talking to for longer than that, but it fell together
Mhm.
like this. it, it just happens sometimes. And like my spring break started yesterday, so it's like I had to power through a little bit of it because man, like coming home late on Wednesday night and then
Ooh, woof.
but particularly because as you guys know, I'd been sick at the beginning of the week,
Oh yeah.
you
Mhm.
know. Um so yeah, it was fun though. and somewhere in the middle of that is when news dropped that Powers is getting the adult animation treatment at Netflix, which is also very exciting, with both Bendis and Oming um, lined up to be a part of it, which makes it even more exciting.
I love the implication that because Netflix was unsuccessful in their attempt to buy the DC universe, they had to go with their backup plan to buy the Powers universe.
I mean, honestly, if I have to choose between the two, I'd take the Powers universe.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think
it's
they own the
certainly
Powers
cleaner,
universe. I think they just get to
right?
to to make the TV show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
I'm
excited
excited.
about this.
Yep.
Um, Less exciting news that you guys have read more about. You guys were the ones that tipped me to this. So who wants to take the next point here?
Phil's
Well,
got it.
yeah, I just heard, unfortunately, while scrolling the internet, that Sam Keith, creator of the Max and co-creator of Sandman, has passed away, unfortunately, at the age of 63, I believe. Um,
So
he,
so
That's not that
so
old.
so not old, but not young. So there's
yeah,
a
absolutely a legend of a creator in the comic scene. A lot of people sharing nothing but nice stories about him and strangeness. Apparently, he was an off-the-wall dude, which is what you'd expect from, you know,
right,
someone who created the Max,
right.
for sure. But
It's
no,
relatively new, so we may have more on it next week as there's some more collected remembrance pieces, etc. Um,
yeah,
but
this was
yeah,
just today that I heard.
what kind of week has it been? Oh God.
Been a crazy week.
War continues, and it's officially hit the comics world.
Mhm.
A ship carrying a couple of Fantagraphics books, among other things, was hit by Iranian missiles, and Iron Circus sent out notices on a couple of their Kickstarters that, um, because of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, their shipping dates are going to wind up being pushed back, on books that are otherwise done. They're just, not stateside yet. So yeah, that's the world.
That's
And
awesome.
and and
Yeah,
also,
It's awesome.
Tyler, you were telling me something about Banksy.
Yeah, so it was reported this week that Banksy, there's a man that's been accused of being Banksy.
what's
I
And
that?
mean,
Who's
Banks. I mean, is it real? Because like
a couple, well,
this is not the first time that there's been.
this
Everybody
particular,
thinks they know Banksy. Who's
I
reporting this?
uh, well,
I've been out of it.
I initially saw it on Good Morning America, and then I went and looked at it on other sites. So you're
Uh-oh.
rolling your, I went and looked at it.
at other
This,
sites? Good
yeah,
Morning America wasn't trustworthy enough for you?
no,
I mean, is
Who
it
are they
good? Is
saying this
Good
guy
Morning? I
is?
forget. Is Good Morning America ABC or CBS?
I think it's ABC.
Okay, then
I,
it's still
I,
trustworthy.
uh, okay, but the point is this gentleman has been suspected of being Banksy in the past. So it really wasn't surprising when his name got brought up again. But
Yeah.
So who
yeah,
is he?
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Phil, were
well,
you
hold on,
asking a question?
hold on.
Something. Who is this guy?
Whoa,
I don't
I,
know. I haven't read
I
anything.
can't read my paper here.
Is our reason we're talking about this? Did Banksy make a comic or something?
Did Banksy?
Banksy hasn't made a comic.
No, that'd be sweet
Here
though.
we come, walking down the street. We get the funniest looks from everyone we meet. Hey, we're the monkey.
Uh,
You guys are nuts. I don't know why you're doing all of this
I don't read them.
crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
we're the ones to suddenly add some production value to the show.
Some
Yeah,
You know,
production
whatever.
value.
I think initial orders are due on Thursday of this week for our new to order stuff. So this is our last round of highlights. Uh, we should move to that.
Sure.
Is this first one's Tyler's, isn't it?
Yeah, and so this one
New
is
series.
Babylon Cove #1 from Rafer Roberts and art by Joe Eisma. This is a story about Heather, a no-nonsense career gal who returns to her picturesque New England hometown for the first time in a decade to attend a family funeral. Dennis, the all-American dreamboat who broke Heather's heart in high school. Charlie, the late blooming shy boy who Heather never gave the time of day. And Carthon, the ancient demon with plans to feast on the flesh of everyone in town. If you've ever wondered what would happen if Stephen King were allowed to write one of those Hallmark holiday movies, welcome to Babylon Cove. Final order cutoff is April 27th and will be in shops on May 20th.
All right, next up is
Philip.
Empiria by David K. Wilson and Jacques Salmon. In the kingdom of Empiria, modern times have come. Now anyone can have the power of a wizard by using magic crystals. They can power a magic mirror to talk with a friend across the kingdom, tune into your favorite show, or power a magic broom. Princess May didn't spend her entire life studying magic just to be a shill for her father's crystal business. He gets rich off of people while doing nothing to make their lives better. She made the sacrifice to have real power so she can protect her people, not exploit them. In Dragon City, Randy, a punk rock unicorn, is just trying to take the subway home. There it is, that look. He hates that look. These old-timer unicorns were born before the Reformation. They must have held their horns taken by the dragons when they were young, by the look of it. This is like blowing into the whole story. So this sounds like a fantasy series from these creators, and that's coming from Rocket Ship Press. It's going to have a final order cutoff of this coming week, March 30th. Going to be in stores May 6th.
All right. Godzilla versus Texas. Because apparently they couldn't do just Houston or Austin or Dallas.
No, the
Godzilla
whole
decided he needed to
state.
go. Everything is bigger in Texas. Godzilla couldn't settle for one city in the Lone Star State, so it's going to trample over all of them. Hopefully, those cowboys have a saddle big enough for the king of the monsters, or else things are about to get ugly. Join Godzilla and a cast of comic book creators from the great state with a whirlwind tour of Texas, featuring 4 10-page stories by comic book legends like Matt Frank.
And more.
And more.
Yeah.
Next up, you guys, is Lenore Ghost Story from Roman Dirge. This is out on Titan, but there is no description. So
Yes, there is. It says TBA.
So I asked.
You have to come up with the description. You have to tell us about Lenore.
I am.
I
So
don't know.
I-
It's a ghost
but-
story, so maybe
So
that's the point.
I asked Google AI
Oh no,
to tell me.
Oh
about
no!
it.
We can't take the
so
Google
let's
AI.
see.
No,
Let's
AI
see
is
Tyler, I thought you read
let's
Lenore.
see. I haven't
AI
read this
is worse
issue.
than a ghost.
So let's see. Let's just see what AI says.
Why?
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 Okay, the issue centers on Lenore and her usual crew, Pootie, Ragamuffin, and Taxidermy.
Are
Attempting
those
a
actually crew members? Did AI
Yep.
get that part right?
We're
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, they are real. Attempting a relaxing camping trip. Naturally, things go
That
south.
jibes with the cover here.
Yep.
She is toasting
yep.
marshmallows.
And sitting on a log.
Things go south as they take turns telling ghost stories under the stars, which leads to rehashed painful memories and an unwanted appearance by the ghost of Mr. Gosh. So yeah, those are all characters.
Is that the ghost of Mr. Gosh on the cover?
Yeah, that is Mr.
Okay.
Gosh. Yep.
Okay. So I can see how they got everything from the cover except for south.
Yeah.
How do they know that they went south? They could have gone east by northeast.
But we don't see the other characters that they mentioned, though. So Pootie, Ragamuffin, and Taxidermy are not on the cover.
That's true.
Just Lenore.
But
so
it's
that's
fair
what-
to assume that if she was going to go camping, that's who she'd go camping with, isn't it?
Possibly, yeah. Probably.
I mean, I suppose
she
it
doesn't
would be
really know
hilarious if
anyone
it
else.
turns out that this is the issue where she makes new friends.
I So anyway, that's what Google thinks about Lenore's upcoming issue.
All right. I am not reading from Google AI about Megalith, the Olympus Saga, #1. An explosive cosmic odyssey of unparalleled scope and artistry. 20 minutes ago, a massive monolith crashed into the heart of Baltimore, obliterating 16 square blocks. No one knows where it came from or why. Somehow, the monstrous deep space object evaded the global surveillance net. 3 elite breach teams were dispatched to penetrate the outer shell and disable it. 10 minutes ago, it sprouted tendrils and began ripping apart nearby streets, cars, and even people, using the raw material to print itself larger. Police, SWAT, the feds, even NORAD were powerless to stop it. Just 2 minutes ago, the megalith anomaly achieved its final form, a gigantic, 100-story tall, humanoid mecha robot, then began marching towards Washington, D.C. Now our only hope is Officer Jack Casey, a beat cop scarred by the past, who, along with what remains of the breach teams, must scale the robot from the inside. If they can reach the head, they can destroy it. But time is running out. The government has scrambled a nuclear response, and the world has just learned that a second, bigger monolith is about to impact Earth. This is from Matt Kint and Louis LaRosa at Bad Idea. Final order cutoff is April 13th and in stores on May 13th.
All right, next up, another book from Bad Idea. We've got Warbird #0 from Derek Kolstad, Robert Venditti, and Jesse Lonergan, and covers by Frank Quitely. From the minds of blockbuster screenwriters, blah, 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 comes a white-knuckle globe-spanning action spy thrill ride. Cole is a repo man of the highest caliber, repossessing heavily guarded mega yachts from billionaires, private planes from captains of industry, and everything in between. If it's got an engine, he can drive it, ride it, or fly it straight out from under the nose of an army of guards. But now he's handed the job of a lifetime, the impossible job, one that will bring him face to face with the highest stakes. The Russians have stolen aeronautical military secrets from China, France, Germany, the UK, and the US to Frankenstein together the ultimate bleeding edge next gen fighter jet, the Warbird. There only there are only 3 of them in existence. They're a force of absolute nature, 1.4 billion apiece, dominating every global hotspot from Syria to Ukraine. And Cole's been hired to steal one and destroy the other 2. His fee, 10%. Cool 140 million. But this isn't a repossession job. This is outright theft. And failure doesn't mean jail time and fines. It means a bullet in the back of the head. That's going to be a final order cutoff of this coming week, March 30th, in stores April 29th, once again from Bad Idea.
All right. The end. Oh, we should get into some graphic novels now, beginning with The End of the Arab of the Future, a youth in the Middle East. Riyadh is a teenager growing up in the French region of Brittany, where he lives with his mother and brother and attends high school in the Rennes. But his adolescence is anything but typical. Born to a Syrian father and a French mother, Riyadh spent much of his early childhood in Libya, rural Syria, and France, moving through contrasting worlds, political ideologies, and daily absurdities. Years earlier, his father, charismatic, authoritarian, and obsessed with dictators and with building a utopian Arab society, abducted Riyadh's second younger brother, Fadi, and returned to Syria, leaving behind a fractured family. At 14, Riyadh navigates puberty, isolation, and the pressures of French society while haunted by the absence of his father and brother and the sadness of his mother. He turns to books, heavy metal, and drawing as refuge. The tone is darkly comic and sharply observant, capturing both the universal pains of adolescence and the surreal contradictions of the 1990s. Blending personal story and social commentary, this standalone volume offers a biting, poignant portrait of a young man coming of age in a world that feels both familiar and foreign. The End of the Arab of the Future is the first book in a 2-volume series that concludes the critically acclaimed autobiographical graphic novel begun in Arab of the Future. This is by Riyad Sattouf, Sam Taylor, with art by Riyad Sattouf, and it covers the years 1992 to 1994. For Fantagraphics, Final Order Cutoff is April 13th, in stores on May 20th, though I'm not certain this might be one of the ones that I read had been on the ship and therefore delayed. I think we're going to start finding that a lot of things aren't coming out quite when we want them to, just because of various supply chain issues. Anyway, who's got this
Next
one?
up is a little book called Gun Punch by Fernando Pinto. Evan had an all right life, a job he didn't mind, and a long distance girlfriend he was pretty fond of. Had being the operative word here. Now, after losing his job and his girl on the same day, a chance hookup with a mysterious girl turns him into Gun Punch, Earth's last hope against the invasion of the evil shape-shifting Draxons are plotting on our planet. Or at least that's what he believes. Also, it sounds way more glamorous than it actually is. To be honest, Evan is not that psyched about it, but at least his recruiters is. Or his recruiters, the United Plans Coalition, pay all right. Kind of. Look, he really needs a gig. Armed with a high-tech symbiotic armor grafted onto his body, Evan will try to eliminate all Draxons in his path before they can take over every human being's body on this planet and complete their invasion. His sister Dee, the alien hollow constructed Nell, Bob, the criminal, Dee's fiancee Stacy, and a few more colorful characters will be along for the ride, helping Evan out. Not that he asked any of them, but they're all kind of around, I guess. Through it all, Evan will have to deal with the city's reaction to their new hero, huge expectations from the new mission, his old boss, Alice Magnus, and the fact that maybe they didn't really tell him the whole truth when they picked him up for the job. He will also get beat up a lot. Gonna have a final order cutoff of March 30th, this coming Monday, and going to be in stores May 13th.
All right. The next book up is The Marshfellows. Beloved online cartoonist Anna Laura Sullivan makes her graphic novel debut with a captivating adventure about misfits exploring the dark edges of their world. After a nuclear war plunged the world into darkness, the last beacon of hope is the island utopia called Slumber City. In this rainy, happy town, one angst-filled urchin doesn't see what there is to smile about. But after being taken in by the elderly Marvin and Pearl, Urchin is pulled into their quest to solve the dark, damp riddles lurking outside Slumber City and uncover the plans of its mysterious mayor. The final order cutoff for this is going to be April 13th. Will be in shops May 19th. And this is from IDW. Dun, dun, dun.
Is this one me?
Mm-hmm.
Pandola,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry about that. Pandola by Kyung-Chi Kit. After the apocalypse, the earth is nothing but dust and ruin. From the heart of the desert, a single city rises, ruled by the demon king who brought the world to its knees. To save his closest friend, Summer, Esper joins a band of wanderers bound by uneasy alliances and hidden motives. Their path leads straight into the demon king's domain, but the truth awaiting them inside the city of demons may rewrite everything they thought they knew about the end and the beginning of the world. Can have a final order cutoff of April 13th in stores, May 6th from Mad Cave.
School for Extraterrestrial Girls, Volume 3, Girls in Space, from Jeremy Whitley and Jamie Noguchi. School is out for the summer, and it's finally time for extraterrestrial girls to take a break and head to the beach. Or it would be if the world wasn't about to be destroyed. An armada of the last Chilean Empire, terrorist people, are on the way to Earth, and nobody knows why. There are only days before the strongest battle cruisers from the largest and most dangerous empire in the galaxy arrive, and our girls are on the clock to help their headmasters figure out why they're coming and how to defend the world. Are they coming to eliminate Misako after destroying her home planet? Are they coming to reclaim Terra for some crime of her family? Or is there something far more dangerous on their agenda? Terra, Misako, Summer, Cat, and their friends are back, and this time the fate of the Earth is in their hands. Let's just hope they figure it out in time. This is from Paper Cuts. I love the earlier volumes. Jeremy Whitley is a friend of the podcast, and you should all go read it. The final order cutoff is April 27th and in stores on May 20th.
All right. Now, this book looks awesome. This is Swallow and Mage from Kara Dojagon Hikino. In this first book of an epic debut, middle grade fantasy graphic novel duology by Kara Dodagon Hakino, Mage and her shark best friend Squallow set off on a wild adventure filled with mythical and powerful creatures from Filipino folklore to save their world from the wrath of Bakunawa. Perfect for fans of Hilda Folk and Final Fantasy. After losing her father in an attack by the evil Tikbalang, Mage and her friend Squallow set off on an important quest far from home to honor her father's last wish, find the Bakunawa, the guardian of the sea. But Mage and Squallow don't know where to find the Bakunawa, and the evil Tikbalang was only one underling of Ventrolio, the nightmare maker who is hunting Mage at any cost. Mage and Squallow's journey takes them all over Mundo, facing monsters and possessed minions of Ventrolio, until they hear news of an angry Bakunawa that would rather destroy ships and summon storms than help sailors. Why would Mage's father send them to someone so dangerous? Can Mage and Squallow uncover the truth before the Bakunawa unleashes her wrath and plungers all of Mundo into chaos? This looks really cool. It's final order cutoff of May 4th and in stores on May 27th. Who is this? Who is putting this out? Top Shelf.
Is it Top Shelf?
Yeah.
Top
I
Shelf
don't think
is
it's Top Shelf.
generally no.
No, that doesn't look like HarperCollins.
HarperCollins.
Hey, the notes on our notes say Top Shelf. So
Oh.
Uh-oh.
so right there.
Who could have made such an egregious error?
I don't know.
One of us.
No, it says Harper Alley.
What the?
No, it says Top Shelf on our
Yeah.
document is what he's saying, and it does.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it.
That's what I was
For
reading.
Squallow and Mage versus the Rage of
Oh,
Bakunawa?
no, you're looking at Marshmallows. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're looking at Marshmallows as top shelf. It says
Yeah.
Harper Alley for Squallow and Mage. You didn't scroll down, Tyler.
Oh God. Thanks,
It was Tyler's fault.
Thanks, Tyler.
Continuing
All right.
to pull one
Some
over. on us.
collections.
Way to screw it up again, Tyler. Now we have to start over. All right, guys. Dan,
No.
will you stop?
No.
This podcast is aggressively unedited. We live with our shame.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
First collection up, we have Colossal Volume 1 from Rutile and Diane Truk. Love, humor, and powerlifting collide in Colossal, a massively successful international webtoon now presented in print about a young aristocrat who's about to discover that the heart may be the strongest muscle of all. Jade, a young French noblewoman, has a problem. Her parents expect her to marry a rich prince to save their dwindling family fortune, but Jade doesn't want to fall in line or in love. All she wants to do is pump iron and get those gains. Jade's obsession with powerlifting and getting strong is at odds with the image of a delicate flower that society expects from her, when, in a fit of rage, she sends a fellow high society teen, obnoxious pretty boy Nathaniel, flying through the buffet table during a ball. It looks like Jade's secret may be out, but before a scandal erupts, the quick-thinking teen comes up with a brilliant excuse. Love made her do it. Now, Jade finds herself in a dizzying courtship dance between spoiled Nathaniel, Alexander, a stable hand she wants to get lifting tips from, Eloise, a mean girl hiding a soft heart, and Simon, Nathaniel's insufferable best friend. Can Jade keep her secret and learn that strength isn't only measured by how much one can deadlift? Silly, heartfelt, and full of surprises, Colossal is a young adult rom-com graphic novel with a shoujo manga twist perfect for readers who loved Cursed Princess Club, Heartstopper, and True Beauty. Going to have a final order cutoff of this coming Monday, March 30th, and in stores May 6th from Abrams.
Tyler.
Yeah, Hellboy. I was kind of daydreaming there for a second. This comics collection, this is the second collection of Hellboy's earliest days as a BPRD agent. Takes him across the globe in adventures that tie into the darkest corners of the Hellboy and BPRD comics. Join Hellboy and his fellow agents on globetrotting, horrifying mystery adventures from a fire ghost in a forgotten dinosaur theme park to vengeful demons in Hong Kong, Cold War weapon tests that lead to mutilated monsters in the South Pacific, to a forgotten ghost in New York City's Potter's Field, and more. Plus the true story of Hellboy's turn on the silver screen in the Mexican luchador films. This volume collects Hellboy and the BPRD across volumes 1955, 56, and 57 from a slew of extraordinary talents, including Mike Norton, Allison Sampson, Sean Martinborough, and of course Mike Mignola. This is from Dark Horse. The final order cutoff will be April 13th and in shops July 14th.
All righty. Finally, we have Powers 25, Volume 1. We may have mentioned that we like Powers.
Yeah.
I like Powers at least.
I
I think
like
everybody
Powers.
else likes Powers. Powers is so good. Powers is
I
one of
haven't
the
read it yet, but I've heard it's good.
longest
haven't- really?
running independent comics in history. And to celebrate the 20th
Todd
anniversary
McFarlane,
landmark.
Todd
Twen-
McFarlane would argue with you about that. Spawn, I think, claims that record.
Well, this just says one of.
Okay, it
not
says
the-
one of.
Okay. I thought he was trying to say it's
Spawn
the
isn't
longest
the
running.
only longest running
And like
independent comic.
neither one of them are as long as Love and Rockets or Usagi Yojimbo.
I'm just saying that's what Todd McFarlane has recently claimed.
Is Todd McFarlane paying you right now, Tyler?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he and Eric Larson did, like fight over who has the longest running superhero comic. I get it. Whatever.
All right, I
A
won't
fun,
interrupt again. I won't
dangerous
interrupt.
adult look at a world of heroes through the eyes of Special Homicide Officer Detective Cutter and her brand new partner in the first power to ever make Powers Division, Mobius Moon. Under the watchful eyes of legendary captains Dina Pilgrim and Anki Sunrise, the new detectives are running through a minefield of all new dangers. A new unsolvable Powers murder has Cutter and Mooner questioning everything about the world and their place in it. The new series is also a celebration of Powers' very happy home at Dark Horse, where it joins other stuff and includes a bonus pinup gallery from Mignola, Stan Sakai, David Mack, Scott Hepburn, Alex Maleev, Eric Powell, Jill Thompson, along with Powers 25. The entire classic Powers comic series is available as several omnibuses now from Dark Horse Comics and Jinx World. So yes, go get your Powers. Get your Powers, I say. Final order cutoff is on April 6th, and it will be in stores on July 7th. So, speaking of final order cutoffs, and just because we should remind people from time to time who don't know the lingo, final order cutoff is the day by which you need to tell your comic shop, please order me a copy. After that, they can try, but they're no longer guaranteed to be able to get it for you.
You guys, I'm always playing with fire. I put in my order like a day before the final order cutoff.
Yeah, but you could still adjust it up till the cutoff.
Yeah, that's true. But
after that,
I really should give myself more time than that in case I hear about something
Oh
else
yeah,
that I
yeah,
should
yeah,
have
yeah,
ordered.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Um, Tad, can I read down the list?
I was going to ask you to. I mean,
Okay.
I might toss in some comments here or there, but I was
Okay.
going to ask you to.
For Monday, March 30th, get these in before then. Ape from Rich Tommaso from Image, June
Oh, this looks so
17th.
cool.
That's coming out. Yep. Cal Exit Say Goodbye to Hollywood from Matteo Pizzolo and C. Granda from Black Mask on April 29th. Crawl Space from Violet Kitchen. That's coming out from Booligan Press on May 6th. Doom 2099, Rage of Doom from Frank Thierry and Von Randall and Poonjian Yoon from Marvel on April 29th. Everglide from, looks like Carlos Gonzalez, putting out from Floating World on June 24th. From Parts Unknown by Adriano Arianjanello and Daniel Kovel, Jordan and JP Jordan from Pesto Comics, April 29th. G.I. Joe Real American Hero. Is it supposed to be Triple S? Silent Missions?
Like a snake.
Copperhead?
Silent.
Silent Missions, Copperhead. Okay. That's from Howard Porter, Romulo Fajardo Jr. from Image on April 22nd. Headlopper, that's one of my favorite right now.
Stuff.
Headlopper from Andrew McLean from Image on April 22nd. Innards from Rob Guillory, Sam Lotfi from Ignition Press on May 6th. In Your Skin from Aditya Bidikar so from Image on April 22nd.
I'm getting that one. Looks really good.
Does it?
Does.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Okay.
I love it
in
when
fa-
letterers take up their pens and make words.
Yeah. In Phantoms from Jim Bishop's coming up from Oni on April 22nd. The New History of the DC Universe, the Dakota Incident, will be the second printing
Now,
from
this
creator.
is where I'll jump in really quick,
Yep.
and then I'll have you go ahead. We don't often like plug second printings, but it has been. Let me actually pull it up, and I'll plug the site. There is now a site called DCSoWhite.com, which keeps track of how long it's been since there was a ongoing comic book
Wow.
in the mainline universe, mainline continuity of DC, headed by a black character. And right now, the last issue in the mainline DC universe, headlined by a black character, was I Am Batman number 18, published on February 14th, 2023, or 1,132 days ago.
Okay.
Damn. I could have sworn
This is despite the fact that
limited. Yeah, Cyborg. I was going to say
DC
Cyborg.
has Milestone.
Yeah.
DC has Static and Hardware and Icon and Rocket and all of these characters that have been wildly successful through the years, but they don't use them. So Joe, when the New History of the DC Universe Dakota Incident was first announced, started an internet campaign to push for 100,000 sales on it, to make it like impossible to, and they're well on their way. They sold out the first printing in days, and it went to second printing, and the goal is to keep pushing until we see, an ongoing Static book, maybe.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely crazy that, I mean, I think he's only had miniseries more or less.
Hey guys.
I mean, since the original series.
Yeah, well, and he hasn't had an actual, I don't even think like a miniseries since Milestone has joined DC continuity. So it's bonkers.
Well,
It's
no,
ridiculous.
because he's had two miniseries as part of the. I mean, see, this is part of the problem. I mean, he's part of an ongoing or a miniseries right now. There's Batman Static Beyond.
That's not mainline in continuity.
You're true. You're true.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, I don't even care if it's mainline continuity. Like, there should be like the
There should be
fact that they
static every
have
month.
the ability to do ongoing milestone and
Mm-hmm.
don't
Exactly. It's really sad.
is right. And for
So I
that matter,
just
which is the one of their cartoons? I mean, frankly, the cartoon that was arguably the most successful after Batman the Animated Series that
Mm-hmm.
is not streaming anywhere. You have to buy
What?
the seasons on Amazon is
Well, that's some
Static
bullshit.
Shock.
That is, I
yeah.
love Static Shock. That is, I swear it was on somewhere at one point,
Briefly.
but yeah, if it's
Guys,
not there,
look.
it doesn't.
Oh, take a look at the photo I just texted you guys.
I did say
I
that's pretty
just
awesome.
literally just came into my shop yesterday. Is
Yep.
the first appearance of Static, and so I picked it up. So I'm pretty excited about that. Not to,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of ironic we're talking about Static right now.
Well,
Heck
I
yeah.
mean, and I'll tell people go listen to our Milestone Book Club, pick up the Milestone compendiums. Though that's another thing. Like, we've got these wonderful phone book compendiums, but unless you're already a fan, you're not dropping $60 for 1,000 pages. Why
I
don't
know.
we have them in your typical 5 to 10 issue trades as well?
Yep,
Like,
we
there
should.
is a Static one now for the
Yep.
beginning arc in Static. But like, every once in a while when we're doing the Milestone Book Club, we will take a look at what else came out the month of whatever we're reading. And it's like, holy fuck, these were the best comics on the shelf at the time. Like, not even close. Like, maybe there's a Vertigo title or two that's in the same quality league,
Wow.
right?
That's amazing.
And somehow, completely
Yeah,
Ignored.
somehow. Big ol' air
Yeah.
quotes. Somehow. I
Right.
wonder what it could be. I
Right.
wonder what it could
Yeah.
be.
So
I know.
anyway, off my
Uh,
soapbox because I get
Okay.
to be, and Marcus is better on the soapbox, but that's why we put a second
Okay.
printing on. And
So we're on second printing, and it includes creators like Joseph Village, Stephanie Williams, Morgan Hampton, and Nicholas Draper Ivy, Carlo Pagulayan, Valentine DeLandro, and Edwin Gallman. This is from DC Milestone, out April 22nd. Next up, Oddball's Odyssey from Tony Millionaire, Jim Campbell from Bad Idea on April 29th. Penny and the Yeti from James Gasparo, Amber Akin from Paper Cuts on April 22nd.
this is another one that I tossed in late because
Yeah.
we just had Jimmy and Amber on. They were fantastic guests. I got to read the book. It's outstanding, and it's outstanding in ways that, like, you can't help but read it and go, I can't believe that they got a publisher to make this because
Yeah.
it's that real. Like, it's a story about a young girl whose parents are at a turbulent point in their relationship, coping with that.
Mhm.
Like, and that's just, it's not the type of thing that we're used to seeing. We're used to, oh, kids don't need to know anything about it. No, it affects their lives, and to be able to look at it from that angle is amazing. So yeah, I can't recommend this book enough.
I buy pretty much everything I can find that Paper Cuts put out for my
Yeah,
store.
no, they're outstanding.
Yep. Okay, Physical Education from Joanna Mosey from Pow Pow on May 6th. Planet Atmos Exordium from Dr. Bushnell, Rob McEvity, Andrea Cucci from Mad Cave on April 22nd. Protopias Collection from Mark Russell.
Protopias.
What?
Protopias.
What did I call it?
You just said
Protopias.
Protopias.
Oh, okay.
Protopias.
Protopias
Like
Collection.
utopia or dystopia.
I mean,
Yeah.
Protopia.
I'd eat a protopia. That sounds pretty delicious to me.
I am so sorry about that, listeners. I have not learned to read. From Mark Russell and Lacey, Danny Hogan and Felipe Cunha, Sierra Nichirik, Joshua Locke Kim and Max Fafner, Catherine Murdoch, Michael Coast, and Karen Grant, Mark Russell again, and ACO, and Natasha Warmack and Elitha Martinez. This is from AWA Futurific out on May 27th.
And this is where I had missed that they were collecting this, and I'm really happy that they are, because
Yeah.
these were all really great, like 48-page one-shots of what a protopia is. And I've talked about it a number of times because we've highlighted a lot of these as they've either the week before or the week after, or sometimes both when they've come out. But the idea is, rather than the perfect world utopia or the crumbling world dystopia, it's supposed to be a realistic but progressive world. And in other words, like, we don't gloss over things that are going wrong or could go wrong, but they try to envision something, a path that we could realistically go down for something better. And I've loved every one of these.
Yeah. Let's see. Red Roots from Lorenzo Di Felice. From Image on April 29th. We have Two Sons hardcover from Carlos Giffoni Wando from Rocket Ship Entertainment on May 20th. And Unemployed Killer Support Group from Rio. That's coming out from Titan on April 22nd.
All right, next up in crowdfunding, just a couple days left. Even the Stars Will Fall, #1 from Florian Akinmade and Bimpe Aliyu and Hassan Atsumane Al Hal on Kickstarter through March 25th. So if you're listening to this Monday or Tuesday, you've got just a little bit of time. So Buttons, Who's My Daddy and What Does He Do from Jonathan Bayless on Kickstarter through March 28th, the end of the week. Action Philosophers, Modernity Bites from Fred Van Lente and Ryan Dunleavy at Rocket Ship Entertainment on Kickstarter through April 8th. Junji Ito's In Old Records, a horror drama on vinyl. That is audio performance of Junji Ito stories from Ryan Cady, Poppy 00 Enterprises on Kickstarter through April 11th. The Monster of Blackenstein, not to be confused with Blackenstein, by David F. Walker and Marcelo Di Chiara on Kickstarter through April 13th. Dan Dare, First Contact by Alex.
Really quick, and you're going to tell them to go listen to our talk with Alex DeCampi as well, and you should. But listen, I spent 2.5 hours with David Walker on Thursday night, and oh my God, was it amazing! So, like, go listen to that now. Okay, you're back.
Absolutely. And we're back. And we're back with Dan Dare, First Contact by Alex DeCampi and Mark Lamming with B7 Comics on Kickstarter through April 22nd. We talked to her.
Now go listen to the couple hours that we spent with Alex DeCampi. And
that was a fun time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They're back again.
Absolutely. Then there is Business as Usual, 64-page novella by Mark Bouchard, Shelby Criswell. Going to be some eco-punk comedy workplace drama. It's like a dark comedy about our modern situation. It's very fascinating. On Kickstarter, launching Monday, March 23rd. So by the time you're listening to this, you can go ahead and support it. Same with Hollowed
Probably.
Ground.
I might get it up tonight. We'll see.
Might get up tonight. Okay.
I've been getting them up on Monday more often lately, so that's fair.
Yeah. Same thing with Hollowed Ground, edited by Michelle Abinator. Gonna have stories from Anthony Oliveria and Ian McEwen, Anas Abdulhaq and Heather Vaughn, Megan Camarena and Vash Taylor, MK Traham, JP Jordan and Len Gogo, Abby Frisco and Chris Ho, Richard Fairgray, a solo story by Chloe Stosky, story from Brent Fisher and Teslin Bergen, one from Meachams and Duna Holler, one from Chloe Brailsford, who also does really fantastic covers, so it'll be great to see her writing a story. Lydia Monette and Dom Minette, one from previously mentioned Michelle Abinator and Jessica Fong. That's coming from Deathline Comics on Kickstarter, launching March 23rd. So by the time you're listening to this, you should be able to support it. And then last but certainly not least, Stephen Frank's Complete Palomino.
Stephen Frank's
Complete Palomino. I have been hearing you talk about him only for a couple years now since Howard Chaykin turned you on to him. So I should know it's Stefan Frank by now for
Well,
his.
well, and I remember it all the time because I try to ask people how to pronounce their names. And
Mhm.
when I asked and I guessed, I said, "Is it Stephen Frank?" And he's like, "Actually, it's Stefan Frank."
Stefan Frank. Nice. Yeah, that is funny.
So
That's a good one.
I'd managed to mess them both up.
There you go. But the complete Palomino, all 6 volumes from Dark Planet Comics on Kickstarter. That one is launching soon. But since Tad was talking to him recently, we are highlighting it. Get it on your radar. Get ready.
Well, more importantly, go to Kickstarter and click that notify upon launch. That helps them win the algorithm, that sort of thing. And
Mhm.
by the by the time you are listening to this, there will be a 2-hour conversation with me and Stefan up as well. Um, I mean, to be honest, and this is no offense to Joe, the hour with Joe was great too. But like the 5 hours I spent talking to David Walker and Stefan Frank over the last 2 days have just been like so rejuvenating,
Nice. That's good to hear.
so rejuvenating.
Good.
So yeah, I hope that people enjoy listening to them as much as I enjoyed recording them. I'll jump in for the humble bundles. Uh, the Indie Comics United Super Bundle of awesome stuff, $18 for 60 items for the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund was extended again. So it's available through March 26th, as is the Love and Rockets and More, the Collected Hernandez Brothers from Fantagraphics. $18 for 57 items for the ACLU is through March 26th as well. EC Resurrection Bundle, $18 for 39 issues. Those are issues. Comic Book Legal Defense Fund through March 31st. The Art of Alex Ross, George Perez, and More from Dynamite Entertainment. A large collection of art books, $18 for 35 items for the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund through April 2nd. And added this week, we have the Best of Joe Hill at IDW. $18 for 15 items, but those 15 items include all the volumes of Lock and Key. So that alone makes it worth the money. This
Yeah,
is for
it's
the
a good
Book
series.
Industry Charitable Foundation through April 9th. So we're only like an hour in, and we're to amazing books.
A lot of hype.
I was just gonna say, guys, can we go a little faster?
Absolutely not.
I'm
I want to
trying.
go eat.
No.
Me too. Me too.
Okay.
So 3 amazing books this week.
Yeah.
It was hard, even though I didn't get to as many of the books as I wanted to,
Hey,
which is probably the only reason why Kyle Starks didn't make the list, because
I
he
was gonna
had
say
3 books that I
three
know I'm going to
freaking
love
books,
all of
man.
them, but I've only read one of them so far.
Wrestle Heist. It better have been Wrestle Heist.
Wrestle Heist is the one that I read. Did you read
That was
Wrestle
the
Heist?
Yeah, that was the best out of the three. I read all
Did you
three.
notice our friends of the podcast?
Yeah,
Did you see Patrick and Dal from Challengers and Wrestle Heist
I did.
as the
I did.
as the ringside announcers? I loved it.
Yeah. Weren't they in the previous issue too?
I don't remember.
I could have sworn the Challengers was mentioned before.
Well, like Patrick is one of the guy, or I think both of them even, but certainly Patrick is in the back, um, answering all of each issue has the wrestling questions that they survey
Yeah.
their group. So he's in every issue back there,
Okay.
but this time they were drawn in. If they
That's
were drawn
awesome.
in the last time, it didn't jump at me the way it did this time.
Yeah. So good.
But yeah, no, it was a good week in comics, but I had all that stuff I was talking about having done in the last few days, and managing to cram in all the reading I wanted to do along with it
So
was
your
not
number one is in my pile. It hasn't been
so
read
good.
yet. So sell me on it.
Well, I
I
love
picked it up
Caitlin
based on the
Yarsky.
cover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love Caitlin Yarsky, so it was going to get read
Uh-huh.
relatively quickly.
Uh-huh.
So Dead Teenagers number 1 from Jude Ellison, S. Doyle, and Caitlin Yarsky. Um, I don't even know completely how to sell it yet, except that like it seems like they're in like every teenage horror, like scenario number blah blah blah, and they'll go through stuff, and there's always the one that survives, and no matter what happens. And she's even thinking, oh, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm always the one that survives, and it sucks. And so they go through a bunch of those scenarios, but then something goes different, and that's kind of where we're left. And yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I'm excited to
And
read it.
Caitlin's art is always amazing, and
Yes.
this is a teaser issue one. I can't tell you much about the series yet. I don't know much about the series yet, except that the
Mhm.
setup is like this group of teenagers know that they're living out all of these, that they've done this before.
Yeah.
So, like the hows and the whys are still kind of to be determined.
Hmm.
Um, the plot thickened in Night City #2 from
God, yeah, this was
Matt
so
Kint,
good.
Matt Kint and David Lapham from Dark
Hmm.
Horse Flux House.
Hmm.
And the plot thickened as well in Dead or Barbarian Behind Bars #2 from Elliot Kalin and Andrea Moody at Mad Cave. Um, it also had a nice Easter egg for those of us who had loved the unfinished, because it's an Aftershock book, Maniac of New York series that this team had also um, done. Uh, yeah, so good
Remember
week.
Aftershock, Ben? That was a cool line until they weren't cool.
Until they
Until
stopped
it turned
paying
out they
people.
weren't paying people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
and that they were.
a-
Yeah.
Anyway, Phil, take a walk.
Oh yeah. So this week was the return of Batwoman from Greg Rucka and Danny, which was it was a good first issue. I liked how it was touching on Batwoman's past, like kind of reminding you of a lot of the hits from Rucka's first run with the character without it being super exposition heavy. So it was still like an emotional issue, and I think Danny's a really great fit for Batwoman. I put in the note I'm ready to get hurt again, just because this is now the third Batwoman series that I'll be jumping on that I'm reading, and the first two did not get satisfying conclusions. So I'm really hoping that this time, Rucka gets to tell all the story he wants to. Um, in terms,
I mean, my minor criticism on it
yeah,
is I haven't read his other Batwoman stuff, and I felt it while I was reading it.
you felt that you hadn't read it before. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair because like the
I
character.
don't think it,
Yeah,
and like a lot of times when that's true, by the end of issue 2, you don't have to have read anything before, because it's just like a lot of the times it's not as much that you need to have read the stuff before as much as, because there's stuff before, they're giving a slow burn start rather than jumping you in and giving you lots of information. Here I felt like there was a lot of information that didn't tie together in a way that I understood yet, if that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. It definitely does. It's one I would
And
highly
and
recommend.
I liked it.
We
That's
should do
just
that.
what kept it out of.
I could understand that. We should do that. I feel like that is a great responsibility that if you're going to
Definitely
be
could
reading
be.
this to touching on at least allergy, because that's the thing is that
Yeah.
um that's pretty much the entirety of the character Alice, her sister, is going on with. So yeah, really great stuff. But then I've been rewatching a few series from anime series from that I haven't seen in years. Paranoia Agent from Satoshi Kon was it's so funny how when I saw it for the first time when I was 14, it was easily the most fucked up thing I'd ever seen. And now it was kind of like, okay, yeah, there's definitely disturbing stuff here, but I've certainly grown a lot. It
Yeah.
didn't warp my mind in the same sort of way.
Mhm.
In that regard, I'm also rewatching Neon Genesis Evangelion for the first time since I was 14, and that has been absolutely astounding. Some of the best mecha action, and I've just hit the point to where the series is going off the rails and getting weird. So that's what I've been up to, along with check in on our old One Piece race. I've now hit up to 60 chapters of Blue Period. I think I'm closing in on the end of volume 14. There's like 4 more that I have till I'm all caught up. So yeah, I've just been, charging ahead, and it's like Tad, it's like you don't like One Piece anymore.
I no, I really, really, really wanted for this to be the month or the week that was not becalmed,
Hmm.
but that it just didn't happen. Didn't happen. I'm still becalmed. Um it's spring break, so maybe, but I've scheduled myself a pretty busy spring break, so I don't want to make promises.
Are you
Tyler,
going
the
on a?
fact that
Are
I'm
you?
not trying to keep up with you anymore, definitely has been uh, I mean, really, I think that if you want to get me going, Phil, you need to start reading One Piece.
Or
Or
I
Um,
should start back
start
up.
chasing me, then
Yeah.
then I'll
Uh,
be motivated.
um,
um,
Well, I mean, and at least, I mean, I thought the motivation was still you want to be caught up by the time it's over.
I mean, that is a motivation.
but it's not
Um,
working. It's not
It's not
enough.
that
enough.
is a motivation.
Yeah.
I think I should also point out that like as much as I love you for it, Phil,
Hmm.
sending me this here Switch
Yeah.
has definitely affected the amount of time that I spend reading comics.
I'm
And my
guessing there's
plot
been a
to
lot
take
of
ahead in this
gaming.
obscure manga race reading has come to fruition.
Right, right.
Too
I'm
funny.
certain that I'll get there. But I have home runs to hit and bases to steal and
Yeah. Oh.
that sort of thing. But anyway, uh, I was a benevolent dictator this week and said I didn't have time to read Copra because I've got this whole C2E2 thing coming up. Oh,
Mhm.
wait, C2E2 is comics and we're a comics podcast. So we're putting Copra on hold and we're going to talk about C2E2 until I'm done with all the C2E2 stuff
Mhm.
because unlike years past, it's not just like, oh, I'm going for the weekend and I'm hoping to meet some cool people and that sort of thing. I have four, count them,
Wow.
four panels to prepare for, do stuff for. I mean, I'm mostly prepared already. Most of them are minimal prep. The part of today has been working with Kelly to get some graphics together, get some slideshow stuff, minimal slideshow stuff together, that sort of thing. Um, and I definitely am gonna send out some emails, do like some last minute push to try to really up the cool people about talking about comics numbers. Um, and for that matter, like the plan is to have invitations to hand out to people that I didn't know before.
Mhm.
Here, Dennis Cowan, come be a cool person talking about comics. Here, whoever. Um, but so yeah, it's like I'm gonna go and not. I mean, you guys should ask questions. This shouldn't just be me monologuing. Um,
Oh,
there, I won my unit, so or
So
my
cool.
thing. So
Your unit, cool people asking about comics. That was your guys' first comic podcast that you did
no,
together,
no,
or
no. It
no?
was, it was, and it kind of fell by the wayside. But cool people talking about comics and stuff started from. For a while, we had a quarterly book club that didn't have as much of a purpose as much as bringing people together. In some ways,
Mhm.
cool people talking about comics and stuff was the genesis of the resistance, hope, and survival group.
Oh, okay.
Um, because like the book was the thing to bring us together, but really it was people who loved this medium
Hmm.
having an excuse to talk to each other.
Mhm.
But as a panel, it's more comics oriented, and I'm actually well, really quick. Let me pull up. We'll plug the panel times. Anybody who is going to C2E2 and happens to listen to this before then, um, let me give specific information on the whens and wheres, uh, because I have them, and that's just a weird and amazing thing. I gotta things to do. Panels are things to do.
An event. It's it's the very first 22 panels event,
Uh-huh.
if you will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Uh,
great.
Hopefully, this will spin out a few tie-in miniseries, a few new status quos for you and Tyler, to
I
observe
mean,
over
I
the.
certainly wouldn't mind if this is a beginning of something bigger for 22 panels than just the crap ton of hours worth of talking that we already do, which, don't get me wrong, I
No, don't say
love.
we. What you do. I mean, the order is Tad, and then Tad and Phil, and then I come in a
I mean,
very distant third of
to
participating.
be fair, when I say we,
Yep,
I'm
yep.
talking about me and you and Phil and Marcus and Ted and
All of our
Mark
all of our
and
guys, all of our
Sean
friends.
and
Yep.
Peter and Matt and Bell and Dylan Gilbertson and um there are others that I'm like just not coming up with the names right now. I mean, we have a lot of people that contribute to book clubs on it. Marisol and
Oh, I
Maria,
know.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
no, I'm crazy because I'm involved in it all, but it
yeah,
really is a we. It's
true.
not, you
Um,
know. It's why I'm a little bit more comfortable being a benevolent dictator. Um, Even though, and it took me a while because like it's hard for me not to think about it as your podcast, because you're the one that had the podcast before and you're the one that
you still feel that way?
not as much, but I find myself sometimes thinking about um I find myself sometimes thinking about uh I remember the first really deep dive that Pearl Jam did with Rolling Stone,
Okay.
where they admitted that they almost broke up during the no code time. And part of um part of what kept them together actually became stopping being a um stopping being a democracy,
Okay.
um and like acknowledging that even though he was the last to the band,
But it was
other than
Eddie's
whatever
band. Right.
drummer they had going,
Yeah.
um the band was Eddie's band. Eddie had the most visibility. Eddie had to deal with the most fallout. The other guys could be relatively anonymous. Eddie had like hardcore stalkers.
Yep.
Um,
I know your cat's popular on this podcast, but I didn't know he had gotten some stalkers by now.
Oh. Um, yeah, you
so
know,
so like it's taken me a while to go, oh, I do put in way more effort. I have way more at stake right now outside of my head. When people think about interacting with 22 panels, they think about interacting with me. And therefore, like, I do need to occasionally assert myself and say, no, this is what we're doing today because this is what I can do today. Or,
Yeah.
no, that's not how we do this or that thing, you know. Um,
so like what
I mean, and
from
I hope
my
I've been kind. I think I've done that second one more with Phil than I have with you, and I hope I always do it kindly because I never mean to come off as, but every once in a while when I see something that's not done the way that I'd want to do it, before I can even think about how bad it is, it's just like, ooh, I would never do that, and just
So what from my perspective, um, it was pretty evident right away that you wanted to do more uh more content for the podcast than I would ever have time for. Do you know what I mean?
right.
And so I just didn't really mind not taking the reins. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, that's cool. Because that's, I just didn't have time for that. So
All
uh,
right. I, I,
that's
I
how
finally have
I saw things.
I finally have managed to find my Friday panel. So
Okay.
the first 22 panel will be the road to the reader, publisher to distributor to comic shop. And
Yes.
I have a couple of publishers in C. Spike Trotman of Iron Circus Comics and Mike Kennedy of Magnetic Comics to go along with Patrick Brower from uh, from Wrestle Heist fame and Wrestle Heist fame slash Challengers Comics and Conversation, and Taylor Crowell Merker is the distribution or director of operations at Lunar Distribution. Um, from there, I actually have two on Saturday, and happily for me, there will be time in between them to, I think, run and go see the West Wing panel. Martin Sheen and Dule Hill are doing a West Wing panel. I kind of want
Yeah.
to go. I haven't even looked at most of the panels because it's like I don't know if I'm going to go to panels that aren't mine this year because I got to do my panels and I'd like to spend some time in Artist Alley. Um, but at Oh, I forgot to give us a room number on that last one. So let's go back to the Road to the Reader is Friday at 1:30 p.m. in room S402A. Um,
Yeah, you're gonna need a map to match that up too, unless you're like an expert navigating your way around McCormick Place.
I am relatively expert
Okay.
in like the C2 area, but also all of my panels are in 401, 402, or 403. So they're in
Okay.
rooms right next to each other.
That's not
And
bad.
I know where those rooms are.
Nice.
Yeah,
Um,
I've only been there once, but I don't seem to remember, Tad, that you and I had any issues.
no, not really.
Yeah.
Actually, the hardest part is I don't know where the main stage is, and the main stage is where the West Wing panel is.
Mhm.
So if I want to go to the West Wing panel, I got to be able to figure it out because Saturday, March 28th at 12:15, I was so much older then. I'm younger than that now, from indie darlings to bestsellers. I'm going to talk to Jeffrey Brown and Lucy Nisley, a couple of Chicago area creators that started out doing sometimes really awkward autobio comics and now do kids books and have kids. And it's like I'm interested to hear that journey. I'm interested to hear if their kids have seen any of their older stuff or when they'll be ready for that.
Hmm.
I'm interested to hear uh like what would the punk making comics in their 20s and working the SPX cake, small con circuit think of the fact that, you have bestsellers for kids now, like bestsellers. Like Jeffrey's done Star Wars and the Hulk for
Hmm.
kids. Not Marvel. I mean Marvel, Star
Right.
Wars, and the Hulk, but not like issues like the kids version. He wrote Hulk Teach.
Yep.
Um, so I'm looking forward to that. The next one that I have on Saturday and or that one was in 402A. The next one I have on Saturday in 401D at 4:30. I have so much more than Wednesday superheroes. Independent creators provide depth and breadth to the medium. And I'm really, really happy about who I have for this because I kind of run the gamut of experience and success, because I've got Terry Moore headlining with C. Spike Trotman from Iron Circus again, and Greg Petrie from the Santros Sisters. But then I have Larry Brooks
Wow.
Stahl, who has a book that's been serialized and compilate in
Okay.
anthology books on
So he just did a story in
local comics,
Leprechaun.
and
Yeah.
he's got a story in the recent what's the publisher on that one? The Leprechaun.
Oh my gosh. Was it Source Point or something?
Yeah, the recent Source Point Press, like St. Patrick's Day horror anthology. He's got a short
Yeah.
story in.
Yeah. And
Um,
then he just did a signing uh late last week that I think went pretty well.
well, that's cool because he's got one at Modern Age on Thursday. He's got one at Chicago Comics on Wednesday. They set up a little tour for themselves.
Yeah.
Um, and then Jaria Faruhar, who has gone the other route in terms of it being a young indie comic. She's gone more the Lucy Knisley, Jeffrey Brown. She's working the tables at small cons and writing autobiographical and or nonfiction comics, and graduated from the UC and is looking at going to law school.
Yeah. It's awesome.
So it feels like a nice varied group of comic creators. I'm looking forward to hearing them, but I'm also looking forward to having them talk to each other some, because my plan is, like, for the more veteran ones, it'll be like, tell us something that you wish you'd known when you started. But for Daria and Larry, I've already told them that, like, when it comes to your second question, it's going to be, you've got three of the most successful independent comics creators of the last 40 years in front of you. Ask them a question.
Yeah.
What do you want to know? What do you want to but then we get to the one that I still pinch myself every time I realize that they approved it. On Saturday, or on Sunday afternoon, March 29th, 2:45 to 3:30, in room S403, we have cool people talking about comics. So far confirmed is Larry Brooks Stahl, his artist from the Leprechaun book, Eric Olksferry, Mark Prott, Taylor Crowell, C. Spike Trotman, Mike Kennedy, Daria Faruhar, and Sean Harkleroad. I have other names in my back pocket that may be there. I'm going to be plugging for it because the idea is I'm going to get as many people in that room as possible. And we're going to read some comics. I'm even going to share not completely done with the slideshow, but I'm going to share the slideshow with you guys. We won't necessarily read it all now, because I know Tyler's ready to go eat, and so am I.
My tummy's rumbling.
But I know that you guys will recognize some of these. We'll just read them, and then we'll talk about why they're cool.
Uh-huh. Awesome.
Oh, love some Nancy.
Okay.
I actually have the peanuts from this week, the year I
Wow.
was born. So,
Okay.
That's interesting.
so it's not quite completely lined up with this week because the year I was born, my birthday was on a Tuesday, and it's a Wednesday this week. But this one in the middle here is the one from the day I was born. This one at the end here, this sixth one, is the one from 46 years before. We'll be reading it at the show. And then the Sunday one from that week is a baseball one, so I had to keep it. And then we're going to do some milestone. We're going to do a fantastic page from a Birds of Prey comic.
Oh yeah.
We're going to do a quick scene
Palomino.
from Palomino. And then some sort of crisis events. And I got a couple things that I might add. And obviously, it really comes down to will we have time for it all? But if this goes well, I can envision a thing where I make like the long slideshow and separate it by numbers and like create a digital wheel to be spun.
Oh, that'd be
Um,
interesting.
and we do it randomly rather than with any specific rhyme or reason to do it.
Yep.
Because like I would love it if this became the panel that I did over and over and over and over and over again and had it be different every time. Maybe not even different comics. It just wind up being different because the fans and artists and whatever available at any given con were different. But I would love it to become a 22 panels thing that like any con that let us, we did this panel at.
That
That'd
would
be
be
pretty
great.
awesome.
Yeah,
And it was just okay, who wants to read this part?
that would be fun.
So I'm really hoping it'll work out. I know I'm not the only one that's hoping it'll work out. Almost everybody in comics that I've told this about is like, you got to tell me how it goes because that
It'll
sounds
be
really
funny.
cool.
It'll be cool. I hope it
Well,
goes
and I
well.
just like, and I don't mind that it's become pop culture cons, like, because like there is something nice about the fact that comics are now mainstreamed, at least in that, oh well, I'm really into movies, and being into comics isn't that different from being really into movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
We don't get beat up as often, I guess is what I'm saying.
That is good to hear. Yeah.
But I like the idea of in the middle of this big pop culture con event having 45 minutes that are like hardcore dedicated to comics themselves and why they're awesome.
Yeah, that is good.
So I'm hoping it works out.
That's cool.
Hoping it works out. Anybody else have anything to say about C2E2? Oh, I did get a
No.
hotel room, so I'm not going to be doing crazy driving. That'll help with the
Good.
self-care.
That's good.
Cool.
Good for you.
And
Good to hear.
we'll see about the nerves. I imagine after the first panel, the nerves will start to settle some. Yeah.
Just don't forget to pinch yourself,
Yeah. Oh God. That's going to be one of my big goals is to just actually enjoy it.
Will Kelly be accompanying you?
Kelly is not coming down. She's not big
Okay.
on the cons, and this is not her spring break week. Next week is her spring break week.
Okay.
Oh, that really lined up for you then.
Right.
Nice.
So yeah.
All right, cool.
So yeah. Like we're gonna spend 3 weeks on this because I don't know when we're gonna record next week, but it's likely gonna be before. I don't want to come home and record, I guess is what I'm saying. So like
Okay. It has to be a
the
morning.
options for you guys are going to be Saturday morning before I go to the con, and therefore before.
So we're talking like 6
3
a.m.?
Well, 7 a.m. will be fine.
7
I'm
a.m.
like a
Okay.
10-minute walk from the con.
Oh,
It doesn't
yeah.
open till 10.
Okay.
I mean, normal recording time would work,
Okay.
but it'd be 7 a.m. like 8 p.m. or later on Saturday or 7 a.m. on Sunday is probably what we're looking at.
Okay.
But regardless, I won't have done the Cool People Talking Comics panel. And if we do it Saturday morning, I'll have only done one panel. So there will be more to talk about, which is why we will do one more week where we do C2E2
The aftermath
stuff.
The aftermath. That's a good way of
On
putting
the
it.
selfish side, I don't have to worry about doing specific reading for this podcast. And then we'll get back to Copra.
Right. That sounds like a good time.
Hi, Raina.
Oh, they said hi, Raina.
So anyway, books I hope will be spectacular. This is a pretty good week. We got Is Ted Okay #2 from Dave Chisholm at Mad Cave.
Every time I see that cover of the first one, because it's sitting in my nightstand upstairs, issue 1, my brain goes, "Is Tad okay?" And
now seriously, if and we've had Dave Chisholm on, and I email with him more, and I need to have him back on again. If I ever manage to see him personally, or I might even ask him to just do it for me and send it. I want
Yep.
one where
That's-
he draws over the E to make it an A.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
that would be sweet.
Um,
I am looking forward to issue 2. 2 out of your 3 are.
yeah, Tyler, we just lost you.
Oh,
Did your ear?
I
earbuds
assumed
die?
he was going to say ones
He
that
said
he was
2 out
looking
of the
forward to.
3.
I imagine he wasn't. I imagine there was going to be positives. Yeah. We
No,
still
I
can't hear you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nope.
Can't hear you.
If this is a bit, it's not funny anymore. Okay, it's maybe a little funny still. It's just a blip. We caught you just a blip, like one syllable.
Can you hear me now? No, I can't hear you now. I'm going to keep
can hear
going
us,
while
though.
Tyler's working on it. Is Ted okay? Number 2. Absolute Martian Manhunter number 10 from Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez. Javier Rodriguez will be at C2E2. I'm very much looking forward to seeing him and meeting him. Also at C2E2 is Chris Condon, which is awesome because I got a Peril of the Brutal Dark poster when they took it down at the shop. So
Oh,
that's
very
what I'm
cool.
having him sign this time.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
I can.
there
Great.
you are.
Okay, so I could hear you guys the whole time. And what I said is 2
I
out
knew
of your
you.
3 are in my box already at the store. And I also have that Peril of the Brutal Dark poster, and
Yeah.
it is awesome. It's hanging up in my shop, but
It is totally awesome, which is why
next to the Bleeding Hearts one. That one came out the same week.
yeah, which is why I fully intend. That's what I'm going to have Chris sign for me this year.
Nice.
So yeah, good week in comics. There's some interesting trades. There's some more. We got Absolute Wonder Woman. We've got Carbon Red Claw. We've got Department of Truth, Feral, Minor Arcana, Miss Truesdale, and the Rise of
just
Man.
a few
And,
good things.
yeah, there's that Superman Spider-Man book coming out this week.
Did you?
But actually, really quick, I am pissed off about something.
Why?
I have been looking forward to getting Daredevil #1 on my birthday for like 5 months now.
Uh-oh.
And they moved
And it got bumped.
They moved it to April 1st,
Those
which
jerks.
also means that I
How
can't
could
have
they?
Stephanie Phillips sign it for me at the con.
That's a double whammy. Well, and talk about an April Fool's pullover, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, if it turns out that there's no Daredevil.
It sucks.
So, Phil, what's your trade waiter?
My trade waiter pick this week is a little book called The Power Fantasy. This is volume 3 is coming out, The End of History, by good old Kieran Gillen, Casper Wingard, Clayton Cowles, and
Coles.
Ryan Coles. That's what I get. So I get an off week. I decided I needed to back Coles, Clayton Coles, and Ryan Hughes, Image Comics. If you are waiting for this trade, you have more patience than me. This has been one of my favorite series this year. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, real great. I can't wait until I imagine the first 3 volumes are going to be in one big hardcover. That makes sense to me. So I really hope so. Fingers crossed.
There, I helped you out, Phil.
Thank you. You know, honestly, it's because of I don't have, it's the stage fright where I see the W and it looks like Cowl if the E and L were flipped, but it's Coles.
Yeah.
You just reframe it. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna suggest we get a roll in.
That's your job, dude.
We're not gonna eat dinner together? It's not a am I going hungry tonight?
I'm having leftover pizza.
I'm also having pizza.
I'm
tonight.
having new pizza. So this is where
frozen pizza.
I don't know if you've noticed when you listen to any of the ones I do without you, I don't always tell people when I'm ending it. I just end it. You don't have to talk to us. You can say the words.
Right, but I like full transparency, right? Just like
there we go.
I
don't want full transparency. Well, I don't like you keep your clothes on, man. Keep them on. I don't want to see through them.
Am I wrecking
I like
the
that the beard is there.
I-
this
So
is
that's what he means by he's the beard of comics.
Yep, yep.
I will also say I am actually really happy to find out that we are all about to eat pizza. Is it
Yeah, this one.
pepperoni? Pepperoni?
Yeah, actually.
Pepperoni?
Yes,
Probably.
actually.
Probably.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
Yep. All right, guys. This has been fun, and we'll catch you guys after the next page. See ya.
Pepperoni.
And now, the next page, brought to you by
The Nexus Vault, your new home for comics, cards, and collectibles in Southwest Minnesota. Located at 109 East Main Street in Laverne, the Nexus Vault is where longtime fans and new readers alike can dive into comics, trading cards, toys, and all things geek culture. Whether you're chasing key issues, building a deck, or just looking for a place that gets fandom, the Nexus Vault has you covered. You can reach the shop at 507-858-8914. You can email us at the Nexus Vault Laverne. That's the Nexus Vault, LUVERNE at gmail.com. Or you can check us out online at thenexusvault.com.
and also Modern Age Comics, 2214 East Algonquin Road, Algonquin, Illinois, 60102. The new shop of Psycho Comicology. Come and pick up your comics, pick up your geek stuff. Just talk comics. I might be there. Who knows? Reach the store at 847-409-6295 or check out modernagereader.com. This month's catalog highlights have an initial order due date of March 26th and will reach stores beginning in May. New comic series, Absolute Catwoman #1 from Jay Grayson, Scott Snyder, and Bengal at DC. Final order cutoff of May 18th, in stores June 10th. Absolute Green Arrow #1 from Pornsack, Pichetshote, and Rafael Albuquerque at DC. Final order cutoff of April 27th, in stores May 20th. Ape #1, a one-shot from Rich Tommaso at Floating World. Final order cutoff March 30th, in stores June 17th. Babylon Cove #1 from Rafer Roberts, Joe Eisma at Mad Cave. Final order cutoff April 27th, in stores May 20th. Bad Thoughts #1 from Andy Parks and Dave Wachter at Ignition Press. Final order cutoff April 20th, in stores May 27th. Barbara Gordon Breakout #1 from Mariko Tamaki and Amanke Nahuelpan at DC Comics. Final order cutoff is April 20th, in stores May 13th. Ben 10 #1 from Joe Casey, Robert Carey at Dynamite. Final order cutoff of April 13th, in stores May 6th. Concrete Stars Over Sand #1 from Paul Chadwick at Dark Horse. I neglected my final order cutoffs and in stores on that, but it's coming. Destination Kill #1, Joe Palmer at Oni Press, April 20th. Final order cutoff and in stores on May 13th. Dog Tag #1 from Mark Russell and PJ Holden at Mad Cave. Final order cutoff is April 13th, in stores May 6th. Imperia #1 from David K. Wilson and Jacques Salmon at Rocket Ship Entertainment. Final order cutoff March 30th, in stores May 6th. Fall of the House of Slaughter #1 from Tate Bromble and Adriano Turtolici at Boom Studios. Final order cutoff March 23rd, in stores May 6th. Godzilla vs. America Texas from Matt Frank and various other artists at IDW. Final order cutoff is April 6th, in stores May 13th. Hank Howard Pizza Detective, A Slice of Life #1 from Robert Venditti and David Lapham from Bad Idea Comics, in stores May 6th with a final order cutoff of April 6th. Hellboy and the BPRD, The Monster of Nivola, one shot from Mike Mignola, Christopher Golden, and Danielle Serra at Dark Horse. Final order cutoff May 18th, in stores June 24th. Hellboy in Love, Obsidian #1 from Mike Mignola, Christopher Golden, and Alex Nieto at Dark Horse. Final order cutoff May 11th, in stores June 17th. If Destruction Be Our Lot from Matthew Rosenberg, Mark Elijah Rosenberg, Andy McDonald, and Francesco Segala at Image Comics. Final order cutoff April 13th, in stores May 6th. Innards #1 from Sam Lofty and Rob Guillory. At Ignition Press, final order cutoff March 30th, in stores May 6th. JLA Avengers #1 Facsimile Edition from Kurt Busiek and George Perez at Marvel/DC. Final order cutoff of April 20th, in stores May 27th. Lenore, a Ghost Story one-shot from Roman Durge at Titan. Final order cutoff April 20th, in stores May 13th. The Life and Death of Lucas Dreamwalker from #1 from R.L. Stein and Francesco Francavilla. Boom Studios. Final order cutoff April 13th, in stores May 27th. The Matron #1 from David Bowles and Drew Edwards with art from Monica Gallagher and Harry Saxon. IPI Comics. Final order cutoff April 27th, in stores May 27th. Megalith, the Olympus Saga #1 from Matt Kint and Louis LaRosa. Bad Idea, final order cutoff April 13th, in stores May 13th. Monsters in Love, a Pride Anthology one-shot from Tate Bromble, James Tynion IV, Isaac Goodhart, and V. Gagnon. From Dark Horse, final order cutoff May 18th and in stores June 24th. Odin #1 from James Tynion IV, Marguerite Bennett, Letitia Kedenichi, and Jordi Belair at Image. Final order cutoff April 27th, in stores May 20th. Of the Earth #1 from Chris Condon, Andrew Eric, and Charlie Adler at Image Comics. Final order cutoff is April 27th, in stores May 20th. Only the Savage Are Left Alive #1 from Zach Kaplan, Stefano Raphael at Dark Horse, in store, or final order cutoff April 27th, in stores June 3rd. Seven Wives #1 from Zoe Tunnel and V. Gagnon at IDW. Final order cutoff at April 13th, in stores May 20th. She Spawn #1 from Gail Simone Ig Guara at Image. Final order cutoff April 13th, in stores May 6th. Showdown #1 from Dave Wilgotch and Tad Galusha at Ignition Press. Final order cutoff is April 6th, in stores May 13th. Skate Ali from #1 from Sam Humphries, Kelly Sudiconic, and Natasha Bustos from Dark Horse Comics. Final order cutoff May 4th, in stores June 10th. Star Wars Rogue One, Cassian Andor #1 from Benjamin Percy and David Marquez at Marvel. Final order cutoff April 6th, in stores May 6th. Superman, Father of Tomorrow by Kenny Porter and Danny Earls. DC Comics, final order cutoff May 4th, in stores May 27th. The Ring, The Man Who Beat the Man. #1 from Gail Simone and Eliza Romboli at Dark Horse. Final order cutoff April 27th, in stores June 3rd. Ultimate Impact Reborn #1 from Chris Condon and Stefano Caselli at Marvel Comics. Final order cutoff April 6th, in stores May 20th. Warbird #0 from Robert Venditti, Derek Kolstad, and Jesse Lonergan at Bad Idea. Final order cutoff of March 30th, in stores April 29th. And Zorro #1 from Howard Chaykin and Jorge Fornes, Alien Books. Final order cutoff April 13th, in stores May 20th. Upcoming graphic novels: Adrift on a Painted Sea from Tim Bird and Sue Bird at Avery Hill. Final order cutoff April 6th, in stores May 6th. Apocalyptic Horseplay from Elliot Boardman at Rocket Ship. Final order cutoff March 30th, in stores May 27th. Barking by Lucy Sullivan at Avery Hill. Final order cutoff of April 6th, in stores May 6th. The Beast, Volume 1 by Zidru and Frank Pay from Oni Magnetic. Final order cutoff April 20th, in stores May 13th. Charity and Sylvia by Tilly Walden at Drawn and Quarterly. Final order cutoff April 6th, in stores June 17th. The Children of Light by Gene Pliers at New York Review Comics. Final order cutoff April 13th, in stores June 23rd. Crawl Space by Violet Kitchen at Boulagan Press. Final order cutoff March 30th, in stores May 6th. The Cutting Garden by Darcy Van Polgeist. Aaron Connolly at Image Comics. Final order cutoff April 20th, in stores September 2nd. Dogs on Dates by Luke Healy at Drawn and Quarterly. Final order cutoff April 20th, in stores June 24th. The End of the Arab of the Future, Volume 1 from Riyadh's Toof. Sam Taylor at Fanagraphics, final order cutoff April 13th, in stores May 20th. Everglide by Carlos Gonzalez at Floating World, final order cutoff March 30th, in stores June 24th. Gun Punch by Fernando Pinto at Rocket Ship Entertainment, final order cutoff March 30th, in stores May 13th. Hana and Taru, The Forest Giants from Leo Schilling and Mato, Oni Magnetic, final order cutoff April 20th, in stores May 13th. Landing in Place, Shireen Hamdi, Mira Elmir Kokila at final order cutoff of April 20th, in stores May 19th. The Marshfellows from Anna Laura Sullivan at Top Shelf, final order cutoff April 13th, in stores May 19th. The Odyssey, a graphic novel deluxe edition from Gareth Hines at Candlewick. Final order cutoff is April 13th, in stores May 12th. Olive, Lost in Inner Space, Vero Kazat and Lucy Mazel at Abrams. Final order cutoff April 6th, in stores May 20th. Oracles, Olivia Sullivan at Avery. Final order cutoff April 6th, in stores May 6th. Pandola by Kyung Chi-kit at Mad Cave Nakama. Final order cutoff is April 13th, in stores May 6th. Physical Education from Joanna Mosi at Pow Pow. Final order cutoff May 30th, in stores May 6th. Record Journey from Ryoichiro Kazuka at Titan. Final order cutoff May 4th, in stores May 27th. School for Extraterrestrial Girls, Volume 3, Girls in Space from Jeremy Whitley and Jamie Noguchi at Papercuts. Final order cutoff of April 20th, 7th, in stores May 20th. See You in Memories by Pen So at Mad Cave Nakama Press. Final order cutoff of April 20th, and in stores May 13th. Spent by Allison Bechtel at Harper Alley. Final order cutoff May 6th, in stores, or final order cutoff of April 6th, in stores May 6th. Squallow and Mage versus the Rage of the Bakanawa by Caro Badagun Hikino at Harper Alley. Final order cutoff May 4th, in stores May 27th. Teen Titans Together by Cami Garcia and Gabriel Piccolo. DC Comics. Final order cutoff May 4th, in stores August 4th. Two Sons by Carlos Gaffoni and Juan Doe. Rocker Ship Entertainment, final order cutoff of March 30th, in stores May 20th. Virginia Woolf by Liuba Gabrielle at Mad Cave Becco Giallo, final order cutoff of May 4th, in stores May 27th. And We Are Pan by Yasmin Flores Montañez and Andrea Fratino at Top Shelf. Final order cutoff April 27th, in stores June 2nd. Finally, collections available in this catalog. Be Not Afraid from Jude Ellison S. Doyle and Lissandro Estherin at Boom Studios. Final order cutoff April 6th, in stores July 7th. Bloodletter by Joseph Illage, Tim Seeley, Christian Rosado at Image Comics. Final order cutoff March 30th, in stores May 6th. Booza, Volume 1 from Shazleen Khan at Abrams. Final order cutoff April 13th, in stores May 27th. Capes by Robert Kirkman and Mark Engelert. Image Comics, final order cutoff April 20th, in stores May 27th. Captain Henry and the Graveyard of Time by Mike Mignola, Bruce Sick. Dark Horse Comics, final order cutoff April 20th, in stores July 21st. Colossal Volume 1 by Rutul and Diane Truk at Abrams. Final order cutoff March 30th, in stores May 6th. Devil on My Shoulder by Kyle Starks and Peter Kowalski at Dark Horse Comics. Final order cutoff of April 13th, in stores July 14th. Die Loaded, Volume 1 from Kieran Gillen and Stephanie Hans at Image Comics. Final order cutoff of March 30th, in stores May 6th. Dust to Dust by J.G. Jones and Philip Bram at Image Comics. Final order cutoff of April 20th, in stores May 27th. ElfQuest, The Hidden Years Gallery Edition from Wendy Peeney and Richard Peeney at Dark Horse Comics. Final order cutoff of April 13th, in stores July 14th. Galaxy of Madness, The Mortal Machine from Magdalene Visaggio, Michael Aving Oming, and Victor Santos at Mad Cave. Final order cutoff of April 13th, in stores May 6th. Hector Plasm, Volume 1, Born into Night Battles, Benito Sereno, Nate Bellegrade, Derek Hunter at Image Comics. Final order cutoff of April 20th, in stores May 27th. Hellboy and the BPRD, 1955 to 1957. Mike Mignola, Mike Norton, Chris Roberson, Brian Chirillo, and Sean Martinbrough at Dark Horse Comics. Final order cutoff April 13th, in stores July 14th. Hulk Smash Everything by Ryan North and Adam Kubert at Marvel Comics. Final order cutoff April 27th, in stores July 7th. Liquidator from Peter Milligan and Peter Kowalski at Mad Cave. Final order cutoff April 27th, in stores May 20th. Our Soot-Stained Heart, Joni Hogg and Stippen Morian at Mad Cave. Final order cutoff April 13th, in stores May 6th. Powers 25, Volume 1 from Brian Michael Bendis and Michael Avon Oming at Dark Horse Comics. Final order cutoff is April 6th, in stores July 7th. Star Trek Red Shirts from Christopher Cantwell and Megan Levins at IDW. Final order cutoff of April 6th, in stores May 12th. Tank Girl Motherload Slipcase Set from Alan Martin, Warwick Johnson Cadwell, Jim Mahfood, Rufus Dayglow, and Ashley Wood at Titan. Final order cutoff April 20th, in stores May 13th. Toxic Avenger Volume 3, Toxic Goes to Washington by Matt Bors and Fred Harper at Ahoy Comics. Final order cutoff of April 27th, and in stores August 19th. And Where Does the Rainbow End from Francesco Perillo and Stefano Carticelli at Mad Cave. Final order cutoff April 20th, and in stores May 13th.